I'm one of the lucky ones. I made a little bit of money. I don't have 50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. $3 million. You put 3, I put 3. Winner takes all. I'm 5 years out the ring. I'm a kickboxer.
Joe Rogan drops a truth bomb about Jake Paul that has fans buzzing. Is the YouTube boxing star all hype? You won't want to miss this. Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today, we're diving into the latest drama in the world of boxing and entertainment. Joe Rogan has just called out Jake Paul in a way we've never seen before. And it all started after Jake reportedly turned down a fight.
If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living out of a goofy, entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate. Google it if you want to know more. Any day.
Fight offer from none other than Andrew Tate. What's the real story here? Let's break it down. Jake Paul, the internet's most polarizing boxer, has made a name for himself by taking on opponents like Tyron Woodley and Anderson
as a boxer.
Silva.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And listen, what Jake Paul has accomplished is he's fighting old guys.
Yeah,
he's fighting. All he fights are old guys and whatever. But listen, say what you want, he wins, and he makes money. So he's doing his thing, you know.
Come on, fight. Make it.
20 seconds. Come on, 20 seconds to work, Austin. Let's go, let's go, let's go! Come on, work. Work. Good. Work. 10 seconds. Work.
On a recent episode of his podcast, Joe Rogan didn't hold back. He questioned whether Jake Paul's rejection was a strategic move or a sign of fear. Rogan speculated that Jake might be avoiding Tate because of stylistic challenges or the risk of losing.
Yeah, he'll never do that, though. He knows. He knows way.
One, he's under contract. And two,
he's not his own boss.
And two, he won't do it. He knows better. He might
and it's funny to say, like, yo, Conor McGregor is scared of Jake Paul and will never.
His undefeated reputation. Here's what Joe had to say. Joe's comments have sparked a heated debate online. Some fans agree that Jake might be protecting his brand, while others think Andrew Tate isn't a serious contender. Where do you stand? Jake Paul, as always, had a quick response. He took to Instagram to explain his reasoning, stating that his focus is on bigger fights with higher stakes. But is this just an excuse? Critics are calling him out for ducking a potential showdown. Fans are divided. While some support Jake's decision to focus on his career trajectory, others accuse him of cherry-picking opponents. And Andrew Tate, he's not staying quiet, doubling down on his challenge and calling Jake out publicly. So where does this leave us? Will Jake Paul eventually face Andrew Tate? Or will this be one of those what-if moments in the boxing world? And how does Joe Rogan's perspective shape public opinion? What do you think about this showdown that never...
So when you see some of these crossover fights, obviously I know that you and Jake Paul have had your disagreements. Do you think that Jake's gotten better as a boxer?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And listen, what Jake Paul has accomplished is he's fighting old guys.
Yes.
He's fighting. All he fights are old guys and whatever. But listen, say what you want, he wins, and he makes money. So he's doing his thing, you know.
Let's not act like this is the first time Jake Paul has avoided a fight he couldn't control. His entire boxing career has been a masterclass in cherry-picking opponents. Former basketball players? Check. Retired MMA fighters who haven't boxed a day in their lives? Double check. And now, Tyson, a retired heavyweight with enough fame to sell tickets but not enough speed to pose a real threat. It's a pattern so obvious that even Jake's most loyal fans are starting to notice. Joe Rogan didn't hesitate to call Jake out on his podcast, pointing out that Jake's strategy revolves around avoiding anyone who might actually beat him. He's fighting old undersized guys, Rogan said, summing up what everyone else was already thinking. Jake Paul doesn't want to fight Andrew Tate because Tate is younger, faster, and far more unpredictable than any opponent Jake has faced. Rogan even went a step further, saying that Jake's reluctance to face Tate shows he's more interested in preserving his record than proving himself as a legitimate fighter.
Two brothers, one cage. Jake Logan, you Tristan. Who comes out alive?
You know what? I'm trying so hard to not start internet beats. I'm really trying not to.
You could say Jake and Logan, man.
Bro,
Don't worry about it.
No, I can't lie. Bro, I'm going through life. I'm trying to live peaceful now. I've got Fed agents in my house. Matrix is after me. I'm just trying to live peaceful. But of course, I have absolute faith in myself and my brother, and I know what we've been through, and I know the kind of men we are.
Now let's talk about Andrew Tate for a second. This isn't some washed-up internet personality looking for a quick payday. Tate is a former kickboxing world champion with a chip on his shoulder and a point to prove. He didn't just challenge Jake Paul, he practically dared him to fight. His $3 million bet wasn't just a publicity stunt, it was a statement. Tate knew Jake wouldn't take the fight, and he wanted to make that fact as public as possible. Tate didn't stop at the initial call-out either. When Jake Paul ghosted him, he doubled down, calling Jake out again and pointing out the painfully obvious: Jake's entire career is built on fighting opponents he can script. There's a difference between training and being a fighter, Tate said, throwing one of the most savage truths at Jake's entire existence. Prime fighters destroy hobbyists.
Andrew, fighter, legitimate, badass motherfucker, strong mentality. Sorry, Tristan Tate is the weak link.
I say let's
He got a bad shoulder. He's shaped like a gingerbread man. I don't want no beef, but that's delusion.
PFO will set this up.
A MMA double tag team match.
10 million for everybody.
You might have a fight on your...
Jake's silence after Tate's second challenge was deafening. For someone who never shuts up when it comes to hyping his fights, Jake suddenly had nothing to say. His fans, who had been hyped about the possibility of a Paul Tate showdown, were left scratching their heads. And if this feels like Jake just got rocked by a verbal 1-2 combo, then slip the jab and smash that subscribe button, because this saga is delivering more hits than Jake ever will in a real fight. Let's break it down. Jake Paul chose to fight Mike Tyson instead of Andrew Tate because Tyson is safer. Yes, Tyson is a boxing icon, but let's not ignore the fact that he's 57 years old and well past his prime. Jake knew he could control the narrative in a Tyson fight. He knew it would sell pay-per-views because of Tyson's name, not because it would be a real challenge. We all know that fight was scripted. And most importantly, he knew it wouldn't put his carefully curated record at risk.
Why don't you lose to an old man who's retired? I live in the real f***ing world, Jake. There's a whole bunch of fighters out here who live in the real f***ing world. Men who are dangerous and dedicated their lives to this sport and don't have a f***ing fraction of the money you have because you've managed to become a f***ing clown.
Contrast that with Andrew Tate, a fighter in his mid-30s in top physical condition with years of experience in combat sports. Tate is unpredictable, skilled, and absolutely not interested in playing Jake's game. If Jake stepped into the ring with Tate, he wouldn't just risk losing, he'd risk being exposed as the hobbyist Tate accused him of being.
Go fight! Hey, fight! Hey, go fight! Hey, hey, work! Hey, work! Hey, work! Hey, work! Hey, work! Work! Hey, work! Hey, work! Hey, hey, hey! Keep going. Come on, work. Go, work. Come on, Marshall. Keep going. Work! Work! Come on, fight! Make it. Come on, 20 seconds to walk. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Joe Rogan once again didn't hold back when talking about Jake's decision to fight with a Tyson instead of Tate. Jake Paul doesn't want a fight he can't control, Rogan said, cutting through Jake's facade like a hot knife through butter. And he's right. Jake Paul's entire career is about control. Controlling the opponents, controlling the narrative, and controlling the spectacle. Andrew Tate represents the one thing Jake can't control, a real challenge. If Jake thought his fans wouldn't notice his dodge, he was sorely mistaken. Social media lit up with criticism, and the backlash was brutal. Fans called him a coward, a fraud, and worse. Even some of Jake's supporters admitted that his decision to avoid Andrew Tate while fighting Mike Tyson was a bad look. The internet doesn't forget, and this move might just haunt Jake for the rest of his career.
The best boxer on the planet is Jake Paul. Why? I mean, who's doing it? I mean, if Mike Tyson says, let's do this, are you down? 100%.
I'm gonna make Mike my girlfriend.
Would you fight Mike Tyson?
Again, no, because he's now old, and I would be an absolutely tragic shame to knock out an old version of his prime self. That doesn't feel fair. Prime Tyson would have ripped me apart in boxing, so to beat him when he's past his prime is dishonorable, and I feel dirty for doing that. So there's no amount of money on the planet that could convince me to fight.
But is Jake Paul playing it smart, or is he avoiding a real challenge? And do you think Andrew Tate deserves a shot in the ring with him? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates from the world of sports and entertainment. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more breaking stories. Until next time, keep it real.